You would never believe the amount of requests we get daily. And it all can be summed up with one word: brisket. Scott writes, "Was wondering if Bubby had a great recipe or would do a show on brisket. My Bubby, who is now in a nursing home, is not able to give me the recipe because she is not well. Love the show, and I am glad that you have brought this to the web. Thanks again." Then we have Gina, who writes, "I love you guys. Do you think you can make a brisket one day? I have tried, but I am a Southern girl and don't know what I'm doing. Take care." And Dawn even writes, "Bubby make brisket. Bubby make brisket. Bubby make brisket." That was 3 separate emails. This and thousands of more has only meant one thing. Bubby, you need to make brisket, so let's bring on the brisket. Take it away, Bubby. When I need some good kosher food, there's only 3 words I need to know. Feed me, Bubby.
Today, I'm going to show you how I make brisket, my family's favorite. We have received so many emails that finally, I'm making brisket. And along with brisket, I'm going to teach you how I use other cuts of meat, which I call my budget brisket. Same recipe as brisket, same flavors, but a real big cut in price. Before I actually show you how I prepare brisket, let me tell you a little bit about it. Brisket generally comes in one piece, about 12 pounds. There's a single cut, which this is, and that's the most lean. And there's a second cut and a third cut, and they're a little more fatter. And also it costs now because the demand is so great that it becomes costly. And for the holidays, I have to put my order in ahead of time when I want brisket because it's sold out so fast. And so a lot of times for regular meals and whatever, I use what I call budget brisket. And that is the same type of lean, stringy meat, has to be cooked a long time with the same recipe. One is called top rib, and the other one is called deco brisket. And they generally run about 2 pounds or so, 2, maybe close to 3 pounds. And I will show you each one. I'm going to prepare my single brisket, and then I'll show you how the other brisket looks. And they all taste the same. And let's begin. This is single brisket. Let me show you. See how lean it is? And as it cooks, it'll swell and get a little thicker. And see, it has very little fat on top. And that's why it needs slow cooking, because it's so lean. And now I'm going to mix my ingredients. First, I have my honey. And especially for the holidays, you know, the sweet, you need a little sweet. And for the new year coming, Rosh Hashanah. So this is my honey. And then I like to use chili, which makes it a little tart, sweet and tart. And then of course, these garlic powder and a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. And water to help mix it well. And you'll have to look at my recipe to get the measurements. If you have a smaller piece, this is made for 3 to 4 pounds. And if you have a smaller piece, just cut the recipe in half. First, I put all my onions on the top. There, slice them. Cut the onion in half and then just slice them. It doesn't have to be fancy. And then, the liquid, just pour it on top. There we are. Give it a little stir so that it'll mix through. And then either use a roasting pan or a Dutch oven, which you can use. And if you have a baked dish like this, then use it with heavy aluminum. And because I've been using so many dishes and so forth, I'm going to use this one with heavy aluminum. And now I'm going to put my aluminum foil, heavy aluminum. Make sure it's tight all around. And set your preheated oven at 325, and it has to be in for at least 3 hours. But remember, halfway through, check to make sure there's enough liquid. And if there isn't enough, you can always add a little bit water. And I'm ready to put it in the oven.
Hey Bubby, guess what I have up my sleeve?
Tell me, what do you have? Something different? What?
It's time to ask Bubby.
Oh, yes, and we have so many emails. Did you pick a good one out?
Of course. Let's ask Bubby. Now, today's Ask Bubby comes to us from Judy. Judy writes, Bubby, my Bubby used to make a great brisket. Hey, Bubby, we've had a lot of emails about brisket, as I said in the opening.
And like I told you, there are no two alike, and everyone is good.
Well,
Judy, what did Judy ask?
All right, so Judy was wondering, it was sort of sweet and sour with some lemon juice. It had some ketchup in it.
Sounds good.
Tomato soup, water, brown sugar. She never gave me the recipe when she was living, but through trial and error, I think I have it now. Now, if you have a recipe for this, could you make an episode of it? Well, we're making an episode right now, actually,
Well,
Judy.
Judy, I have to let me compliment Judy. Trial and error. Trial and error. Sorry, trial and error.
Okay.
And like my two recipes that I have, one is a little tart and sweet, and the other one is very tasty. It's more like on a pot roast flavor. And so this is why I said, try a little ahead of time, and what your taste buds like, and you'll come up with a perfect recipe. There are no two alike, and everybody thinks that their brisket recipe is tops. So yours will be tops also. Try it.
Bubby, actually, Judy had some more to say.
What did she say else?
I would love to see how you do yours.
Well, Judy, this is the chance you have to view it. And let me know if you think it is your taste buds, and if you succeeded in having your measurements and everything just perfect. I'd love to hear from you.
There's one other sentence that Judy has. I sure do miss my Bubby's cooking, but I am now a Bubby and can make it for my husband.
Wonderful, wonderful. I wish you a lot of success and knockers in your family.
If you would like to ask Bubby, email us, feedme@chalutzproductions.com, or use the phone number listed below, right down here. And now it's time for the Yiddish word of the day. Bubby, what's today's Yiddish word?
Today I was thinking, and I thought, well, what's an appropriate word for making brisket or any meat dish? And I thought, the word is balaboste. And balaboste.
Like
I'll spell it
pasta?
for you, so you'll see it spelled on the...
It's like the arcade game where you bust a mole. Or...
No, Avram. Balabusta means a homemaker who is very conscious and thrifty and watches her money, her pennies, and so forth. And this is where my brisket, with the budget brisket, is perfectly for a balabusta. You can make delicious dishes and substitute and have wonderful good luck with it. A balabusta. Be very proud if someone calls you, oh, you're a balabusta. You're a very good homemaker.
Well, speaking about balabusta, we'd like to welcome everybody to our new home located at feedmebubby.com. We've been working very hard in the past, trying to go and get everything set up the way the fans want. I mean, Bubby, you've gone to take a look at the recipe section, and the show section.
Very easy. Let us know what your comments are, because we always like to improve. And your comments, pro or con, are always helpful. And we'll do our best.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we'll be right back.
If you need that extra little gift,
then get a Feed Me Bubby t-shirt only on feedmebubby.com.
out my top rib from the oven, and I'm going to show you how I prepare it. And like I said, it's the same with the brisket, regular brisket. The onions on top, I take them off, and I like to put them in a strainer. And then take the meat itself, put it in a plate, and see how it thickened. This is the top rib. Take the sauce and everything and just pour it in your strainer. Another reason for pouring it in the strainer like this is that when you leave it in the refrigerator overnight or for a few hours, the fat will rise to the top and you can take off the fat. And just mash the onions in as much as you can. That's it. And get the juice out. And now I'm going to put my top rib in the refrigerator along with my strained liquid, the sauce, and so that it'll get cold, and this way it'll be easier to slice the meat and also to take the fat off the sauce. And then later on, when that's done, I could put the slices back in with the sauce so that the meat will absorb the sauce and it's ready to be heated and served. Or frozen for that matter, whenever you're ready. And yesterday I made the decal brisket, and you see the slices, very lean meat, it's stringy meat. That's why you have to make sure that you cut it against the grain. And then this is my sauce, and you see the fat that it accumulated? I have to take that fat off because we don't need that excess. Take off as much as you can, and then take the liquid and pour it all over the meat. And this way, the slices will absorb the liquid and will enhance the flavor. And that's all there is to it. Heat it up in the oven, warm, at a low temperature, and your brisket is ready. And this is the way I like to present my brisket. Sweet potatoes or green vegetable, whatever you prefer. But for the holidays, I like the sweet potato because it's sweet and the honey in the meat to wish everybody a good, healthy new year. And then along with it, to make your meal complete, I have to check. I can't remember everything. Simis is perfect. That's episode 14. And Kasha, perfect. Episode 15. And before you even have that, the most important, chicken soup with matzo balls. And you have to check out episode 8, 9, and 10. And for dessert, naturally a sponge cake. Try them. Give yourself a little time. Do it in advance so that you become an expert. And every time there's a holiday, a special occasion, you'll be the talk of the hostess with the mostest. Also, you have to remember that every brisket recipe is different. There are no two alike. Everyone is good. You'll have to use your taste buds and adjust to the one you like. And my family's favorites is this one with the honey. And then in the recipe column, you'll find the one which I made with ketchup and onion soup mix. Exquisite today. Enjoy. See you next time.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm calling you from Israel. I just spent 2 hours at my computer watching Feed Me Bubby shows. They are so wonderful. I have to tell you, I am a professional chef. I live in Eretz Israel. I run a cooking school for children, and I just was so entertained and just loved it. You reminded me, Ola Shalom, of my husband's Bubby Clara. You look just like her. You cook just like her. It was really a wonderful, wonderful thing.
This podcast is brought to you by Gurdon's Graphics and Awards. Gurdon's Graphics and Awards, family-owned business for over 40 years. Gurdon's Graphics and Awards, for all your graphics and awards needs.
This podcast is part of the Blueberry Network, where listeners and podcasters come together.
Blueberry.com